Motherfucking, Cory Danger.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Thrifting with Cory. I've been thrifting a lot. I haven't been making a lot of thrifts, but I've been going out a lot. So I might make this like a weekly thing where I go out for the week and then I just show you what I find throughout the week. Unfortunately for me, my location, I can't really go to the like Goodwill bins. That's one of the things I want to try out, is one of those things. But either way is like an hour drive to get to one of those Goodwills that does Goodwill bins, which I can understand why. It's a much more better way of finding vintage stuff because I think it's all unsorted. Like they just throw everything in bins and you just gotta find it. Whereas the Goodwills and thrift stores around me, they sort through everything and they probably look it up on, comps and whatever, and then they price it accordingly. So most of the things I will show you, I don't know if they're like super legit. I'm only really getting into thrifting vintage clothing like within a week. I've been trying this for a week, okay? So I'm not an expert. I am no way super knowledgeable of everything. This is just going to be like a testing a phase of mine for this year, because I do resell a lot of stuff. I've started with like video games. I've been selling my trading cards, shoes, and whatever I can find that I can resell, I'll resell. But this is like the first instance where I'm actually trying to get into vintage clothing and things like that. So I've been going through every rack, looking, learning, and things like that. So I only picked up 6 pieces this week. This one I just recently picked up. I don't know if it's like legit yet, but thankfully for technology and this app called Google, which is pretty awesome. So I have this app, Google app, and then you use the camera portion of the app, and then you just take a picture of whatever it is you want to take a picture of. So this is really helpful for me to give me an idea of whether or not it's legit or it's worth any money. So that's what I did when I saw this at my local Savers. It's a picture frame of these 5 kids playing instruments. It's on canvas, so I can poke it in the back. I don't know if you can see it. It's on canvas art. There's like textures to it. It's like an oil painting. There's a little signature. And so when I was at Savers, I pretty much just like took a picture of this and then Google searched it. And then I was having like 35, 145, things like that. This isn't the exact, the focus is on there, but like some of these go for a lot. So this is by Joyce Roybal. And on eBay, like there's some pretty interesting things on there just by typing in the name. So Joyce Roybal, like stuff comes up. So like the top thing is like $250. Focus sucks. Anyways, it's not exactly like this. I've been looking, like spending a few minutes looking, and like each piece I believe is like different. Like I can't find an exact version of this, but there's something similar, but the piano itself is like a different color. So maybe each one is individually like a one of one type thing where the artist like changes something about it. But yeah, some go for good money, some go for not much. But luckily for me, this thing was only $5, as you can see right there, $4.99. And it's got this weird, interesting frame to it. So I guess the canvas is attached to this, and then this is attached to that frame. So yeah, and then the signature is right there. It looks like Joyce Roybal. The other one that I saw of this, her signature is in red. So I do not know if this is legit or not. But for $5, I can take a risk on it, and if not, it's a pretty interesting piece to get. So that's the only real non-clothing piece that I found today. Now we're gonna go to my thrift shelf, because like I said, I'm only starting, so I don't have a lot. But this was the first one I ever found, which is a pretty nice. It's a Champion Sonics basketball pullover. Pretty, it looks like a little faded and whatever. It's got the lengthy waistline, which is I think is a good sign. I said if it's shorter, it's not as vintage. The longer, the better when it comes to like age and whatever. This is it's not a reverse weave on it, but looks legit. It has the Made in USA extra large apparel, and then On eBay, there's a similar one like this, but it's like in a green color, but it looks pretty much exactly the same style and whatever. That one's listed for like 130, but the picture quality on that one's kind of sucks. But like, I don't know. This was the first thing I ever found where I really got started on vintage hunting. I clicked the tag on it, but I think this was like $10.99 at Savers. So this is what pretty much what got me started. Is like when I saw this, it's like that's pretty rare, and then I looked it up, and the prices were interesting. No real big sales, but like, keep it at least long. It's bound to sell one of these days. I mean, this team is no longer existing. It's the Thunder now. They might start another team. Who knows? If they do, that might benefit me and like people from Seattle want their classic Sonics thing. I don't really know, but it is what it is. Number 2, I found this at Savers too. It was a $6.99. It's an American flag, but you can really feel the texture. Like, you hear that? There's some like ink texture to it. And then I saw that it was single stitch, so it has a single stitch on it. Right there. The only thing is, the brand is Stedman Super High Crew. I don't know if it's like a legit, as you can see here, Stedman Super High Crew. This one's made in the USA. I might need to get a better camera, but yeah, so... On the back, it has the Wild Oats 1990 on it. So that's what I looked up. Some have sold, but not with the Stedman tag on it. So I gotta, look that up. I think some are like Hanes or something last time I looked. But this is a very vintage looking shirt. It has sold, but like I said, on a different tag. Single stitch, made in USA. It has the trademark 1990 on it with Wild Oats. So that's what you want to look for, is the tag year, single stitching. This one, it only has single stitching on the sleeve versus down here there's a double stitch. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm still learning. But, the quality and texture does feel like it's nice. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to sell or not, but I just picked it up. It was only $7. That same time I picked up this. It's like an Indian victory picture sort of shirt. It's called Deliverance. Chuck Wren by Teletrend. But I did use the Google app to search this picture. It is single stitched on the sleeve, but double stitch on the bottom. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know. Okay, I'm still learning. But this is on a beefy tee, Hanes tag, extra large, made in USA, assembled in Mexico, and it was $6.99 at Savers. I don't know. It just something I might want to hold, but it's a really nice shirt, and then like no real stains or anything. Coloring has a little fade to it, but I think that's what you're supposed to look for, some fading to it. But yeah, $7, whatever. This one again at Savers really caught my eye because I was swiping through and then I saw this Super Bowl. I think this is 2027, Super Bowl 27. It has the Rose Bowl, Sunday, January 31st, 1993, Pasadena, California, and then it has the roses and then the helmet. I don't really remember the teams that played on this. I tried to do a Google search. It didn't come up with this exact picture, but it did come up with similar. And it's from a brand called Salem Sportswear, but this one is front row, made in the USA. I've learned that Salem Sportswear is like a legit sort of vintage shirt brand that you want to find. They were sold to some other company, but like this is a pullover. As you can see, really nice quality. Looks like it's never even been worn. It does have the trademark on the bottom here. 1992 NFLP, what I think is player, I guess. It was only, I don't know where the tag went. I think this was only $8. I might have cut the tag. It's got a nice little neck sort of line there. The cuffs look pretty still nice. Like, it doesn't look worn or stretched. The bottom has a double stitch to it. But like, very nice. A very nice piece. Looks almost brand new. But like from 1992. So. But I've seen similar versions of these go for like 80 or 90 bucks or more. But like, not this design. There was another one similar, but it had two NFL team helmets on there. So I don't know, you know, but we'll see. It's still, like I said, it's my first time trying this thing. And finally, I went to a Goodwill, like a 45-minute drive to a Goodwill. It was the racks were packed. Like, you couldn't shove things away. You had to like literally pry each one because it's just so full of clothes, which is a good thing for me. Like, most people would not want to sort through that, but like, also it's a lot to sort through. And they had like four rows of racks that I just had to go through, and I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. My arms were starting to, wear out and stuff. But I did find this, mainly because the front of it just stood out for me. Absolutely Fabulous 100 Sweetie Darling. If you don't know, this used to be an old TV show back in the 90s. It was like a British show. I don't really remember much about it, but I do remember it's like these two ladies that are always drinking and drunk. As you can see here, drinking and smoking. Single stitch. It's the first thing that caught my eye was the single stitching on the sleeves. It's basically the only thing I can really look for. Like, I'm just picking up every sleeve and just seeing if there's any single stitch. So that's what drew me to it. And then I saw this. It's like, oh, I've seen this show before. I mean, I've never seen it, but I know of it. And it's a 90s, early 90s. There's a single stitch on the bottom here. It has 1995 Phil McIntyre Promotions Limited, all rights reserved on the back. So it's 1995. And then I wasn't sure about the tag because it says changes on it. But it is a made in the USA tag, size large. And then I looked it up, and it is a legit, I guess, clothing brand or whatever, manufacturing. This one was only $5 at Goodwill. Yeah, but it also has something in the back. Paris, New York, Holland Park. I've seen on eBay, but it's not the changes tag. It was a different tag, so I'm not too sure if that makes a difference or not. But like, this is a really nice looking piece, absolutely clean, almost looks brand new, and it was just stuffed in between a whole bunch of other shirts and stuff. And I just really had to Apple phone zoom in to try to spread all these these clothes apart just for me to see what it is. So thrifting is not easy, I want to say, especially around my location, because I'm smack dab in the middle of almost nowhere. So like, everybody's gonna go to same thrift places. I mean, granted, the Savers that I go to is very popular, and it's constantly getting refreshed with so much stuff. But I also have a lot of competition. There's a lot of people there that'll beat me to it. They'll wake up earlier than me. When I went to Savers today, this lady had I kid you not, 20 to 30 Disney VHS, the thick VHS tapes, Disney tapes that you used to get back in the day. I think they were sealed too, so I was like, dang, beat me to it. There could have been diamond in a rough on that thing, but she was checking out already by the time I got there. It's like, you never know, right? So hopefully, just on the rough math alone, I probably spent, let's see, on average, that's 5 shirts. We'll just say $10. So $50 on the shirt, $5 on the painting. So $55 total. Hopefully, I can at least get $50 per piece. That's 50 to 300. If I sell each piece by $50. Granted, it's not gonna sell that much, but that's a pretty big come up. Turn $50 into 300. Easy peasy. The only thing I gotta do now is list these things, which I am lazy. But yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to show you guys. This is my week of finds, of trying to find things, and hopefully next week I'll find more good stuff. If you have any questions, comments, or you want to let me know a legit check on these things, say, hey, yeah, that's a good piece, good find. Let me know. I'm always open to opinions and suggestions and whatever. So, love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll see you next time.